All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Do Our Things podcast. I'm Jay Teagues, running coach, certified high performance coach. And our mission here at the Do Hard Things Nation is to upgrade and empower you to upgrade your life through health, wealth, and relationships, through mindset and movement. And I have with me the lovely Angie Bertrand. Angie, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. I'm here. I got my coffee. I got coffee this morning. I got my water in. I'm good.
Every Monday, I never know how these are going to go. I never know how I'm going to feel. Some mornings I'm tired, but I'm feeling really good this morning. I got up at, I was up at 4. I did a little writing. I got a shower in, which is good. It's always good to start off the day with a good shower, right? And then I got a cold shower in and took a little, I'm going to get my workout in. So I took a little pre-workout. So it's kicking in here. So as soon as this is over with, I'm going to go crush a workout. I'm feeling really good this morning.
Good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I saw that you were, because you sent me the StreamYard invite at 5:00 a.m. I was like, today's going to be a good day for Jay.
That's how you know. You see the time. Yeah. If it's at like 5:50, it's going to be a train
like,
wreck.
oh God, Jay is not having a good morning. But when it comes early, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a good day.
Probably is a pretty good indicator there. Yeah. Because I never know, man. These Monday mornings can be a roller coaster. So,
oh, they are. Yeah.
Well, today we're going to be talking about mindset. And from race day to every day. So taking your mindset, which is required for endurance sports, and how to amplify it every day, and just really focusing on the importance of mindset and how it can improve your race day and performance, but also how it improves your everyday life. And we're gonna talk about some aspects of it. Before we get into today's episode, make sure that you smash that subscribe button and leave us a review on your favorite. We're on all of the popular platforms, so whatever platform that you have out there, leave us a review. That goes a long way to expanding the Do Hard Things Nation empire. And we know that we're making a pretty good outreach out there. Like every week, it's always fun. We sell some merch from the shop, and it's like people from all over the country and various locations. So I know we're making an impact because I don't know these people, and they're from like very unique places. So it's making an impact, and we really appreciate that. So so leave us a review, and if you've gained a nugget of information or there's something that you really appreciated, we'd love to hear from you. So reach out. We're both connected on social media. You can go to doorthingsnation.com and leave us a message there. And if there's a topic you'd love for us to talk about, we're open to that. And every week, on the Monday morning show, we always announce a weekly winner. We take nominations for people that are crushing it. They're doing something a little bit above and beyond, and we send them a shirt. So if there's someone out there that you know someone out there that's deserving of a little just a congratulatory, like honorable mention, let us know. We'd love to hear about it because we'd like to showcase that. This episode is sponsored by the Do Our Things Nation. We're a community committed to living a life on offense, united by focus on continuous self-improvement, upgrading our life through mindset and movement. You can go to doorthingsnation.com. From there, you can join our Facebook page, and every month we're running some type of challenge. We have events coming up, and so you're going to want to keep posted there. Also send out like a motivational newsletter every week, just with some motivation, inspiration, and always wanting to leave information. We're not just going to spam you with stuff. Obviously, we want you to be a part of it. We want you to buy a shirt and stuff like that. That's totally cool. But we just really want to, just make an impact on you. So we're constantly, leaving some form of information, something that'll help you improve your life through mindset and movement. So that being said, any coach in either business or athletics will tell you that a positive mindset is the key to reaching your goals. So how do you cultivate that? Because I think a lot of people leave that for they don't have a deliberate plan to upgrade their mindset. It might be just as far as like, reading a book or a podcast. But there are other ways that you can do to sharpen that saw. And I don't know, what are your thoughts? How has mindset impacted you and improved your life, Angie?
Well, let me back up just a little bit. I want to say that I don't think people realize how important your mindset is to every little thing that you do, including your physical fitness and reaching your goals. Like, some people are just kind of sitting here groaning, going, duh, like we know this. But let's
shit.
Yeah, right.
Tell us something.
But I really think I know people personally who talk a great talk, but their mind is not in it. And until
Mhm.
they're and they wonder why they're not getting anywhere, they're not getting results, they're not achieving the goals that they're set out to do. And it's kind of like that obvious thing that's staring you in the face. It's like you got to get your mind in it.
Yep.
And for me, mindset has been every flipping thing to that got me to where I am today. And I'm not a professional athlete. Don't get me wrong. I am a 47-year-old middle-aged woman who kicks ass, and it's only because of what I put in my brain um, to do it. Like if I am constantly on a path of self-improvement, and I celebrate, and I tell this to people all the time, celebrate the incremental improvements. Celebrate the increment. Do not compare yourself to anyone else, which luckily I'm good at not doing that. Like I feel like for myself I've mastered that. I don't compare myself to anybody else. And I constantly, if I'm doing something better today than I did yesterday, I celebrate it. I'm excited about it, and I set a new goal for myself. And it's not about eating the whale. What you eat the whale one bite at it. What is it? You eat the something one bite at a time. I don't even know.
Elephants, I
The
think.
elephant, the elephant.
I've
Yes,
never
the
ate
elephant.
one before. I don't know what they taste like. I don't know where they
I
came
don't either. I don't know. I
from.
don't really want to because they're cute and cuddly and big and awesome.
I'll eat the
But
cow.
yes, I will eat the cow for sure. Um, but like, and this goes for, so what got me thinking about this was mindset. I mean, we talk about mindset all the time, right? But for us, it's a duh. But I was listening to the Ready State podcast, and Tia Toomey, who's a professional CrossFit Games champion. Even at that high level, sometimes people forget about that. And she had to get a mindset coach. And she said she grew up and her dad was always telling her, feed your mind. And she thought that meant she needed to eat the right nutrients to feed her body that would translate into a healthy brain. What she didn't realize was that she needed the mindset piece. She was lacking the mindset piece. And I just think that, people forget about it because it's the thing that's in your face that's going, hey, do this, do this, do this. And you're like, I'm doing everything. What am I supposed to be doing? And then you wake up and you're like, oh God, I've got to go do this. I have to go work out. I have to do this. And it's like, no, you get to do it. You get to do it. I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm on a
good. I
tangent
love it.
this morning.
Preach. Yeah. No, I love it. I think you're what people fail to realize, I think, is that their mindset, like you have an operating system for your hard drive. Like your brain is a computer system, and uh, you have installed a hard drive that has been cultivated from years of external conditioning, both good and bad. And there are things that you do that it's all about your mind. There's a lot of things that you're doing that are on autopilot. You don't even realize it. Just like your computer is operating, it's doing things, it's working in the background. And if it's not primed and optimized, if you don't have the latest software, if you don't have it defragged, right, it's going to run. You ever operate a computer that was like old, out of date, clunky, like it's got a bunch of like
Yes.
stuff on it?
Yes.
That's how a lot of people are operating, and they don't even realize it. Now, the good news is that you can upgrade the software. You can defrag it and make sure it's primed and optimized, but most people aren't deliberately going about it. And to your point, you're talking about a world-class CrossFitter. People that are operating at the elite level, they all have a mindset coach. They're all a part of a program. And if you want to significantly upgrade your life, I could not recommend that enough. To focus on the mindset. I was talking about energy last week. I was doing my sessions with my group coaching sessions last week. We're talking about energy, and energy comes in four forms: spiritual, emotional, physical, and mental. And a lot of people, when they think about amplifying energy, they go right to physical, and they don't think about the others. But the most important is the mental energy, because it's the mental stamina that it gives you the sense of awareness and control to focus on your physical, to focus on your spiritual and your relationship with God, to focus and have awareness of your emotional well-being. And your mental state and the hard drive that you're operating with is key. If you don't feel like working out, it's usually got to do with your mental state and being tired and not being able to process having the discipline of starting the workout. It's and in endurance sports, like we know this, like when you're feeling tired and you hit the wall, your mind is going to quit before the body. It's all about the mindset. And so having that primed and optimized is critical to performance.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. 100%.
And mindset, a great starting point, is and this is the great book called Mindset from what's is it Dweck? No, that's Grit. Anyway, I can't remember the author's name, but the book is Mindset. It's got purple on the front. What I love about the book, it explains the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And that's number one. Like, you got to determine whether or not you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. A fixed mindset, the individual believes that their abilities are static and unchangeable. Like, what you have is what you have, and that's it. They avoid challenge because they don't want to fail. They if they fail, they see it as a reflection of their own current capabilities. A
Mhm.
growth mindset, they believe that all of your abilities can be developed. They tend to embrace challenge, and they don't get knocked down with setbacks.
Right.
They see everything as a pathway for improvement. That's critically important because most people fall into one of two buckets, and your conversation with that person will be incredibly different depending on what type of mindset that they have. And I think that if you have a fixed mindset, I think you can recover from that and obtain a growth mindset. But having that growth mindset means that you can embrace learning, that you can be a lifelong learner. And I don't know, that book helped me out a lot because it talked about mindset from a business perspective, from a child's perspective, from a endurance athlete perspective, and it really, really helped me enable. It gave me a lot of confidence that no matter what, I have the ability to learn.
Mhm.
I have the ability to reprogram my mindset if I choose to. And I don't know, that was a book that really unlocked a lot of confidence for me personally, because I knew that I had more control over my mindset. I didn't really think about it much earlier in my life. So
Same. And, I'm glad you brought that up because I mean, we all read the book together. Um, so I think I'm gonna revisit that book because I really enjoyed it. And every time I go back to a book and re-listen, because I do a lot of listening audio reading, reading with my ears. Anytime I go back and re-listen to a book or reread a book, I get additional nuggets from it. I get really good reminders, and that is a really good book. Mindset is a good book.
yeah,
And to your point, listen, I ran with some teachers recently, and even a school principal of elementary school kids. And folks, if you're adults in the 30s and 40s range, maybe as resilient, right? But they're seeing this trend in kids um, about. Oh yeah, there's the book,
yeah.
Carol
Carol
Dweck.
Dweck, I was right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that kids want to give up so quickly. And I see this in my own 7-year-old granddaughter. If she does not get it right, if she does not win immediately, if she does not complete the task immediately, she's just ready to throw her hands up and move on. She just wants to do it her way, is what she says. Nani, I just wanted to play it the way I want to play it. And I'm like, no, we're going to play it the way the rules say we're going to play it. And it's okay if we don't get it right, and we have to learn how to do it. We're not born learning how to do it. But I'm saying this as if you are one of these people that maybe are stuck in that fixed mindset, these actions translate down to the next generation. And we don't want a next generation of people that are giving up and quitting, because if you give up and quit at the first sign of, oh man, listen, I was 100 pounds overweight for most of my life, or most of my adult life, and my knees are just jacked. My back is jacked, right? I now have to understand that when I run, I'm going to have a level of discomfort, but I enjoy running so much. I push through that and I continue doing it. I've got arthritis in my back. I know when I go out for long runs, I'm probably going to feel it, but that's not going to stop me from going out and enjoying what I'm doing. And we need to really make sure that we're instilling in these kids nowadays that you've got to push through. You've got to push through it in your mind. You've got to keep going. You've got to be resilient. You've got to have grit, and you've got to want it, and just keep going. Don't give up.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that was a long way to get there.
And that's it's easier to do that if you as the parent are demonstrating that and finding opportunities
Hmm.
to demonstrate that in front of your kids, because you can tell your kids till you're blue in the face, you need to do this, you need to
Yeah.
do that. That doesn't work. Like, you've got to
No.
demonstrate it. You've got to be out there demonstrating it. So Uh, it's so incredibly important to focus on it, to make, make it a daily effort. And that's one of, the do hard things. Hard is a mnemonic for the 4 lines of effort in your life: health and wellness, affluence and wealth, relationships, and development. And development is the mindset component. It really is. How are you skilling up every day? How are you, are you listening to podcasts? Are you enrolled in a course? Or how are you educating yourself and upgrading this mindset? Because it is so incredibly important to every other aspect of your life. It's critical. And I know, just for my own personal well-being, like when I was in my lowest points of life, I wasn't focused on my mindset at all. I didn't know that that was something that I should. It's just most people are operating on autopilot. And by focusing on mindset, I'm more aware and living life more on offense, because I'm attitudinally aware to my thinking patterns, and I can make transitions easier because of my mindset.
Mhm.
And between learning and then applying through, like, pushing myself physically and mentally in endurance sports, like I just feel like I don't know, it goes hand in hand. Like, it has enabled me to accomplish some amazing things physically, and finish some races. And those lessons, I feel like I can bring those back into everyday life, and apply them to relationships, to business, and helping other people. And it's just powerful. I just feel like it's a superpower, like being able to upgrade, and knowing that you have the capability of upgrading your mindset is a superpower, and it gives a lot of
Yeah,
confidence and peace.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, they there's so many examples out there. So, we talk about listen to podcasts. Well, what podcasts are you listening to? I mean, what are you feeding your brain? What are you feeding your brain? Are you listening to, people that get on podcasts and they're just spewing all this negativity, and they're spewing negativity about the world? I mean, what how are you choosing to view the world? How are you choosing to view your life? How are you choosing to view anything really? Um, when you think about going out, and let's say you've set a goal to run a half marathon, I'm just using that because I've got to run one next weekend. I could wake up and say, "Oh my God, I have to go run today. I don't want to do this. I have to do it." Or I could look in the mirror, and I don't always want to go out and run. I love running, but I don't always want to get out and do physical activity. Let's just be real. I'm human. Um, or I could look in the mirror and put my shoes on and go, "Hey, get your shit together. You get to go run today. You get to complete this." How many people are going to go out and just run a half marathon today? How many people are going to do this? In our circle of people that do endurance sports, a half marathon is like drinking a 8-ounce cup of water, because the people that we know are just completely awesome, and their brains are trained, and they run 100 milers and 50 milers like nobody's business, which I thought was not possible. I don't know, 6 years ago. If you would have told me that I would have been friends with people that do this on a regular basis, I would have been like, "You're insane. People don't do that." But they do. But it's because they've trained their mind to do it. They got it. They've got it right. They figured out the formula, and the formula is getting your mind right in order to complete the things that you want to complete, and not letting adversity stop you. We're all human. I'm not a psychologist, and I know that, sometimes bad things happen and shit happens in life, and sometimes you got to sit and wallow in discomfort and sadness and fear and whatever you're going through, but you can't stay there forever. And you have to acknowledge, you have to acknowledge the feelings, you have to feel the feelings, and then you have to pull yourself out of that, and you have to say, "Hey, look, it's time to keep going. Let's get out of that." Honor whatever it is you're going through, and then work through it. Figure out a path to work through it, whatever way works best for you.
To your point, yeah. I was reviewing my social circle, then, like, what we're doing, like, Saturday night. Like, it's Saturday night, we're out running. Like, the course route that we had for the run, the running for daylight course, which was in St. Robert. Like, it ran past the Taco Bell and, like, all of these, like, scooters, and you could just tell the people were like, who are these people, like, out running, like, tonight? Like, what is going on? Like, weaving around us and stuff. It was just funny because, like,
Yeah.
most people there, they at least ran a half marathon before they went home or called it a
Mhm.
night. But anyway, yeah, half marathons become like just a normal training run, which is
Right, yeah.
so. And a lot of people are like,
Yeah, and I
what?
wish I was so sad. So, okay, so Saturday, I wasn't there because I have to give my team a shout out. The Roller Rockets roller derby team kicked ass on Saturday night. We played an amazing game against Cape Girardeau. Cape Girardeau is an amazing roller derby team up near St. Louis, I believe. Maybe, no, I don't remember. Cape is here in Missouri, but that team was so much fun to play. And even though they lost, they were not bad sports on sport. They did not display bad sportsmanship on or off the track. They continued to smile. Our teams continued to high five one another, smile at each other on the track, crack jokes, even when they were getting knocked down, even when we were getting knocked down. And that just, I was so proud to watch both teams, our team and their team. We did take home a win. Yay, go Roller Rockets. But it was just so nice because we have played teams in the past who were just straight up assholes. Like their mindset was trash. And it makes you not enjoy the sport. It makes you not have a good time. And yes, we are here for the win, but not everybody can be a winner. And how you take that loss is a huge,
Mm,
huge testament of who you are and how you train. And so, I mean, it's just it transcends across everything. But anyway, driving home, I saw you guys out there. I saw y'all, and I was like, "Oh, there's everybody! I see them out there doing racing for daylight." My kids came into town this weekend, so I went and hung out with them, or I would have. My original plan was to go home, sneaker up, lace up, and get out there and join you guys because I knew you're out there till 7 o'clock in the morning. But my kids came in to visit, so I spent some time with them.
I had my kids, so
Yeah,
I didn't stay out as late as many. I was home by 9, but I did get a few miles in, so it was good. But to your point about, well, one, I mean, roller derby, like I don't know much about it, but I do know that it's a full contact, and the team that you have assembled is pretty freaking awesome. I just love seeing people doing. Humans need to be doing gritty, like difficult things, and I think that this is another avenue. And it's so cool to see a whole group of women that are just out there getting after it, playing full contact, but then doing it in a way that is like you said, good sportsmanship, right? Like taking the loss with stride, because you see it in hell professional sports, right? These grown men throwing like temper tantrums and stuff
yeah,
like that. Like it's pretty sad to see that. And so seeing people being able to play full contact and then have good sportsmanship after the fact is awesome. And that
yeah,
that speaks to good mindset, right? And part of your training and coaching with the team has been focused on mindset and sportsmanship, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a lot of what we talk about.
yeah. So it's so incredibly important because that's a key indicator. If you lose your emotional control, that's a sign that, and it happens to people. I mean, I'm not going to say I have perfect days, but my losing my emotional control now is like few and far between compared to what it used to be. And that speaks to mindset. That's why we do that training. So you don't, you have fewer of those moments of weakness. Like
Mhm.
having a strong mindset, mitigates a lot of that.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's why that's the case for working on it. Um, yeah. So,
absolutely.
um,
It's
trying to
funny
think.
because part of my hype speech before every game is like, "Listen, we're all here. We're not sitting in jail right now. And why is that? Because we have self-control." And yes, tensions are gonna run high and we're gonna get frustrated because this is a full contact sport. However, we have managed to stay out of jail because we are all adults here and we can control ourselves.
Well, and that pep talk, it goes to one of the key signature components of mindset is visualization. And visualizing, for the athlete, like how the event is going to go, and realizing that you're going to have highs and lows. You're probably going to have a
Yeah,
moment where you're going to want to lose your emotional control, and you've got to rein it in. Same with like towing, like, a big race. Like,
yeah,
that at the very beginning you're going to be amped up. At some point, you're going to hit the wall. How are you going to navigate that wall or that circumstance that you may find yourself in, and visualizing yourself through that? So when it does happen, like you've already rehearsed it, in your mind. And it's so incredibly important to be able to do that.
yeah.
Um, and so it'll boost your confidence and motivation and significantly enhance your performance ahead of time, which is really important to do.
So I'm super excited about this week's weekly winner. And I know we normally like wait a little bit later in the show, like almost till we're done. But can we go ahead and announce this week's weekly winner?
Yep. Give me a second here. Let me share the screen. Yeah, this one's gonna be
Okay.
good.
So
Almost there. Almost there. Here we
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
And boom. There you go.
There we go. Benjamin Kirk Rudy. Um, I nominated Benjamin Kirk Rudy because this human, I met him when he was active duty. Oh, I can't get back to my screen. An active duty service member, and he was like the epitome of fit. Like he was just like super fit and just like one of those gung ho soldiers. And you could tell that he really cared about his career and himself. And he was just, you look at people and you're like, oh yeah, that's a fit person right there. And then I'm not sure, he went through some things and I saw him and I was like, "Bro, uh, oh yeah, you're showing him on TikTok." And I was in my mind, I'm like, "Oh man, he must have gotten injured or something," because I saw him and he was walking with a cane. And this I went from seeing him from the super fit person to someone that was like really maybe facing some adversity, and maybe some health challenges. I don't know because I never asked him. But then I see him again and he's out there and he's doing couch to 5K. He's showing up weekly. He's showing up for himself. He's just smiling. He's happy. He was the complete opposite of how I saw him the last time. And Saturday, he ran a marathon. He went out to race him for daylight. He ran his first marathon, and he just kicked butt, man. He's showing up. He's biking. He's showing up for himself. He's showing up for his family. He's back to being the person that I first met. And I just want to say congratulations. I am super proud of you. I feel like you've got a growth mindset. You are just, man, you're kicking ass and taking names, and you are just being a really good role model of how to come back from whatever challenges you were facing and just doing it. And we are super proud of you, and we're going to send you a shirt. And thank you so much for just putting in the hard work.
Yeah, appreciate your service. And I think that speaks volumes. I think a lot of people, this is where at some point in people's lives, we have like an injury, some type of major setback. And for some people, it can define you and you can just kind of give up. Or you can come back and you can fight through it and figure out what the new normal is for you, and and adjust accordingly. And a testament is going out there and getting after it and demonstrating that. And I think that's freaking awesome. So we appreciate you. And thank you so much for your service to our country. And we're going to definitely send you a shirt. So that's awesome. I love hearing stories like that. Like, don't let these things limit you. Like, you can be limited if you allow it to. And that's where the mindset comes in. You can overcome these challenges that you have, and keep getting
Yeah,
after it. That's what it's all about. Do hard things. Awesome.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, that's I mean, that's what it's all about. It's all about, upgrading your life through mindset and movement. And don't discount the importance of mindset and cultivating that and focusing on that every day. And if you read books, listen to podcasts, find a course, you should always be learning something, whether it be traditional or non-traditional. And there are other means to improving your mindset, like a mindset coach or a mastermind group is like going to a gym specifically for the mind.
Mhm.
And working with a mindset coach is like going to a personal trainer specifically for the mind. So if you really want to amplify that, you want to upgrade and up that to the next level, find someone. And I know a guy. So if you're interested, reach out to me directly. But if it's not me, find someone to go work with, or find some type of accountability group. Because here's what I've learned about the mindset community, or just the society in general. If you tell people that you're reading a book, most people will laugh at you. Or if it feels very lonely. If you're out running on a Saturday night, people will laugh at you, right? It's just, we're kind of, that's the unique thing, is that we're kind of few and far between. Hence why we created a community, so you don't feel like an outsider. I've got great friends that I love to go drink beer with and have a good time with, but they want to talk about football scores, and I want to talk about, mindset and the nugget that I got from Carol Dweck. And they look at me like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
And I love them. But I need a space where I can talk about, real life. And the fact of the matter is, most people are on autopilot and they don't care. And you need a community. You need a like-minded tribe of people where you can, you know, um, talk about fitness, not get made fun of. Talk about how you skipped out on the cake and you did the workout, and people are cheering you versus laughing at you.
Yeah.
And I know that they don't mean it in a negative way, but it can feel lonely out there. Hence why we created a growth mindset community around, growth mindset and movement. So go to
I
Dorothy
I have
Nation.
I have a quick challenge for people this week.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about growth mindset, a very easy and simple place to start if you're on social media is I want you to just take a step back and scrub your social media. I want you to look at how you're responding on social media. What are you putting on social media? What tone does it have? Does it have a positive a tone? Does it have an argumentative tone? Are you always looking for that next? Are you looking for a post or something to jump on to argue with people and to show and to prove how right you are and how wrong they are? What are you putting out there? That's just a really easy and quick place to start if you're on social media. Check yourself and see how you can change that tone. See how you can change what you're putting out there. And then that's just one small step. Also, another thing that I'm going to challenge you to do is get out there and smile. Make yourself smile, make somebody else smile. I'm wearing the shirt. You might smile when you're scrubbing your social media because you might be like, Jesus, I am an asshole. Or you might be like, bro, I'm killing it. Like, I'm not an asshole. But that's just a really easy place to start. Just going to challenge everybody to do that.
I'm very aware of what I put out on social media. And, if I look back at my social media 15 years ago, I'm absolutely embarrassed on what I used to post and talk about. And you see people, that they're in your feed and you look at like, did you, it's cringy. Like, what are you saying? Like, do you really have to like complain about that? People that complain all the time. That's the one thing that wears me out. It's just the complaining, especially when it's like first world problems and things like that. And I got it. People complain from time to time, but that person that complains all the freaking time, and that's just an indicator of mindset. And you can use your social media for good. And here's a cool thing: you can actually curate your social media. So if people are driving you nuts, you can still be their friend, and you can unfollow them, and you can kind of make your social media a super positive place if you want to, and you should. So, and find yourself a bunch of people that make you smile.
That's right. Do
That's what
it.
it's all about. So, all right. Well, that's it for today's episode. If you gained any wisdom or anything like that, or a nugget, we'd love to hear about it. And in the meantime, make someone smile, keep kicking ass, do hard things, upgrade your life through mindset and movement. And we will see you all in the next episode.
We will.
Do hard things.